Okay, there we go. I'm back. Bluetooth microphone disconnected. Good, because they're probably absolute shit to do with. Okay, first things first, we gotta clean up this counter a little bit. You haven't eaten anything since I've been gone. What's up with that? What's up with that? What's up with that? Just a meow? Just meowing at Mama? That's it? Just meow? Yeah? Yeah? Is that all? Is that all? Come here. Come here. I'll hold you, but just let me. You don't like when I have white pants, so come here. Oh my baby, I miss you. What do you mean no? Is this not what you wanted? Sounds like yeah, eat your nanaks. Eat your nanaks. And to that gone. I left. Am I burnt at all? Can we see? Do I look red? Probably should have put some sunscreen on. Maybe a little. 2 hours. 2.5, 3. Whew. Alright. Let's get to making some food. Food time. Food time. It's food time. In the night time. In the night time. In the neck. Oh yeah. Night time. Night time. Night time. Night time. It's night time. 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 Okay, I got some bacon I need to make. Bacon. For the soup, and also I got some dishes I gotta do. It's dishes time. Okay, let's move this over here. Here. There we go. Plugged back in. Whew. I'm sweaty. The walk back was rough. Like a dog. Okay. I'm tired now. The sun always makes me tired though. The sun makes everyone tired. I did finish the water I had though, so that was good. I definitely feel a little pink. Feeling a little pink. Don't think it's very seeable here. But the skin has the warm feel, that radiating of the heat feeling. Oh yeah. Oh, I just realized I don't think I'm connected to the internet, so we should do that real quick. No. Okay, there we are. That should count. Now we got some more dishes to do. And I can have. So I gotta make this bacon, and I put like some slushy and other stuff on it. Oh no, there's cheese stuck to this plate. I hate when I do that. Cheese, boys, cheese. It's delicious until you gotta wipe it off your plate. Scratchy, scratchy, scratchy it all. That's okay. We got it. Scratchy, scratchy here and there. Scratchy, scratchy everywhere with a little bit of soap. It makes it clean. That's how you do the dishes. Can't you sing? A little bit of washy, washy plates. A little bit of washy, washy plates. Wash your plates. Wash your plates. Everybody likes a clean plate when they're eating their food. No one wants to find a hard thing with cheese in their plate. Especially if you're eating something that doesn't have to do with cheese. It doesn't make any sense. Can you see? Okay. A scrubby here, a scrubby there, a scrubby everywhere. We're almost to the part that I need, which is perfect. Okay, calm down here, you guys. Calm down. Because I thought I was going to get the dishes before, so I thought we were just going to have a normal stream day, but everything changed. So now we don't have a normal stream day, but it's okay. I'm not gonna like scrub this clean, but it's like the little underneath thing. Just wash it off nice and good. Wash it off, wash it off. Dub-a-dub-a-dub in the tub. Dub-a-dub-a-dub in the tub. See? And now it's ready. I put it there. And then we also have a tray that this one is real bad. I let it get pretty bad this last time. I don't even remember what made it this bad. Maybe I had 2 things of cooked bacon on it, but normally it doesn't get this like crazy cooked. So I feel like there's something else. Oh, we've been heating up cheese on it. That might be why it's looking all crazy. Warming up cheese on there. Cheese is making it the cheese juice. Not the cheese juice. See where we're at. Kind of hard to tell. Scrubby-dubby-dub. Warm mozzarella is not too bad, actually. It's pretty good. You should try it. In fact, apparently you're supposed to kind of eat that way because mozzarella tastes better when it's slightly like, when it's lukewarm, when it's like as warm as like the space around you. But I kind of like it where it's like melty and it's like stretchy. That's real good. That's real good. Why is this being such a pain to clean? Normally I can just like scrub at it a little bit and everything comes off nice and easy, but this stuff is like sticking to it for some reason. Why doesn't you want to come out? Get out there. No one wants you on there. We want you off. We want you off. I need a clean place to lay my bacon so I can make you dirty again. Don't you understand how this works? Well, if I hadn't put it in the sink, it wouldn't have been, like, I would have probably just done it, but I did put it in the sink, so now it's got to get a little scrubbed down. But now that I'm here, I'm like, why is this sticking on here like that? You know? And I don't want to, like, put it through and bake it, like, to it, you know? Yeah, it's like, it's really sticking. What is up with you? What are you? That can't be bacon. That's gotta be cheese sauce, but that's so weird. It's so sticky. Like that. Okay. Now it's washed. Oh my gosh. JB, and you're back. Just wanted to pop back in before I said goodnight one more time with commentary on washing dishes. Yeah. Well, I'm making lunch and I put that in the sink, you know, and I needed to wash it. Just had to. Good night. Sleep well. I hope you have a good day. You're almost to the weekend and hopefully you get to move into your new place. That will make work weeks much easier soon. I hope you sleep well. Okay, what was I doing? Oh, bacon. It's bacon time. It's like, it's clobbering time, but it's bacon time. Bacon. I can't wait just a few more weeks and I can finally stop waking up at 4. Ooh. Yeah, 4 a.m. is not a fun time. That's not an okay time to be going to work. No one should ever have to wake up that early to go to anywhere. Truthfully. Unless if it's like their own free volition. They're like, I like waking up at 4 a.m. Ain't nobody... I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemies, you know? Been there, done that, not worth it. I'm so sorry that you've been having to do that. I'm glad that you found a way out of it. And you can still keep your good paying job. Because it sucks if you'd have to leave work, you know? Find a different job. Just so you didn't have to drive 4 hours. Not 4 hours, you said it was an hour drive. I'm being over dramatic now. Ooh, that sounds nice, but yeah, you're sleepy and stuff, that's not good. That's dangerous. That's dangerous as heck. What the helly? That's kind of scary, actually. In the dark. I would be like, please, Bigfoot, don't jump out now. Bigfoot's real anyways. Some people really believe, especially here in Washington. People really believe in him in this area. Some people even say they've seen him. I don't know how that's possible, because I'm pretty sure you would be killed if you did. You wouldn't be alive to tell the tale. Oh, yeah. That's a realistic, actually scary part. A deer kind of like... Deer don't have really good, like, eyesight. So they'll just be like, now? And you're like, no, not now. No, not now. Don't jump out now. And icy roads make it way worse. At least it's summer. But yeah. Hopefully everything will work out good. Yes. There we go. All the bacon has been placed. And now, we bacon the bacon. Bacon the bacon! I'll wash my hands. I was my neighbor Margie in shrub suit. Yeah, that's what I have to assume most people are seeing, are like hunters, or like, if they're not, if they are lucky, they might be seeing like a wolf or a wild animal, a boar or some shit, but I would highly doubt, I'd highly doubt real Bigfoot. Highly doubt. I like the idea of believing in Bigfoot. I just, realistically, if there was Bigfoot, our governments have found him. And he is held captive somewhere, and they are doing stuff to him. Okay. What do I need to do? What am I doing with my life? Bacon is baconing. I need water. I need to chug some of this water. Yeah, definitely. To twerk relentlessly. Could you just imagine, like, Yes, yes. It seems he's been getting better over the last 5 years. Oh, poor Bigfoot. He just wanted to live a normal life. That's all. He just wanted a normal life. We took him in and strapped him in somewhere. Now he's stuck twerking for the man. Yes, it seems the cheek to clot ratio is really making some serious progress. Have you noted that the velocity changes according to the music that we play? My cat is such a princess sometimes. Or all the time, I guess. She really loves hiding under like this sheer like a curtain thing I have. So cute. So cute. So adorable. I'll show you. She's adorable as heck. Look at her. Little princess. Who is a little kitty princess? A little pharaoh. A little baby. Yeah. Who knew such a cute thing could exist? I sure didn't. Oh, I'm kind of sore from the walk, truthfully. I wasn't expecting that. As I'm getting older, things are getting harder. I'm just being a baby. I got 16,000 steps in now. No, I can't complain. I'm deciding if I want carrots in my soup or not. I think I do. I just don't want to do the work to put them in there. Ugh. Alright. Maybe some corn too. Get some corn, some carrots. Carrots and corn. Picked and packed the same day. Corn, water, and salt. Maybe you could just not put salt in my corn and I could salt it myself. That would be nice. I can get behind believing in aliens, but it's some fairy tale shit that I just can't. This is making sense. You're like, aliens, yeah, for sure. But you're telling me Bigfoot exists? No, no, no. The only thing that I would say is the reason why I could believe Bigfoot is because of things like the fact that even to this day, we're still discovering like ancient ruins and forests and stuff like that. And so I guess like I can believe that like he was out there or could have existed, but at this point with AI and drones and like the way like we map the world, I just can't imagine that the government hasn't already found him, you know? I just can't believe that. So if he does exist, we ain't never gonna know, that's for sure. No. They're gonna keep him from us. And they're gonna call us crazy. And then when someone figures it's gonna, you know what it's gonna be like? It's gonna be like how our government handled Area 51. That's a real place. And they told people all the time, they're crazy, they're insane, it's not real. At this point, I could be Bigfoot and I just traveled the nation in a fursuit. Yeah, no joke. Yeah. And you know what's crazier? Is there had to be a Bigfoot now that I'm thinking about it, because we have people who are born who have extra hair all over them, and they come out of random places. That has to be Bigfoot. He's just fucking random women, okay? And then those women are having children, and they're just like, oh yes, it's a strange gene that comes along every now and again. No, those are Bigfoot's children. That might actually be a bad thing. I should be making fun of people like that. But I'm just saying, that would have to be the truth, the reality of it, if that was how it functioned. I won't believe it any other way. If the government has him, or he's randomly having sex with people, and all the people who have like that weird gene that makes them grow extra hair everywhere, those are Bigfoot's children. And then how old is Bigfoot? You know what I mean? That's the other thing. People, like, for generations have been saying Bigfoot's real. But, like, are you trying to tell me that Bigfoot's going to live for a million years? 100 years? 1,000 years? Like, how old is Bigfoot? Like, I just don't believe then what we're saying is that there's multiple of them. There's herds of them. But, like, there's, that they're breeding. And then where are they hiding? They can't all be hiding. It'd be one thing if one was hiding in the forest. But now you're telling me a flock of Bigfoot are just hiding in the forest? Come on. Come on. Gotta make it make sense. Harriet Tubman. Where do they breed at? No joke. And also, if we're saying Bigfoot is like 2-3 times larger than a man, we would be hearing them breeding. We would be hearing them fucking. There ain't no way something that big is quietly fucking out in the forest. No. I won't accept that. I won't accept it. So is Bigfoot real? Maybe. Possibly. But there's a lot of things you gotta convince me of, And I think people just like the idea of Bigfoot being around, and they don't think of the logistics about what that would look like. They don't think it through. I'm like, yeah, it's cute to think that fairies are real. I like that too. But then where the fuck are they? We can see hummingbirds. We find owls that have supposedly been extinct, like floor owls that don't fly. We found those like 15 years ago. Okay? So if we can find that, the floor owl that was supposed to go extinct, where the fuck is Bigfoot in the fairies? I'm just saying. Backshots sounded like at the fort. No joke! I'm sorry, but you cannot have something that large making babies and then people be like, oh yeah, it's silent. We would not, they're in a cave. We hear monkeys fucking. And monkeys are smaller than us. Okay? So don't you be telling me that people wouldn't be able to find them by just hearing them mating. It's either that or there's just one and he lives for fucking forever. And I need to know which way it is that everyone believes it's happening so I can either get on board or say, no, that's not real. Bigfoot's not real. Sorry. But and how is something that big quiet? Even elephants, they're kind of quiet, but you still hear them coming. They're big animals. They can't help it. They got a lot of mass. I'm gonna need to see them capture it, show me the breeding grounds, and show me one giving birth. Yeah, I need evidence. I need real evidence here. It runs dead silently. No. How? I want to know how. It's not like they're ninjas. It's not like they're trained like that. Like, and here's the thing. Is Bigfoots are supposedly, they're not like cougars or mountain lions. They're supposed to be like normal, like vegetarian animals. So why would they need to be that quiet? They're not stalk and prey. Need that bacon to be crispy. I step on a leaf in my backyard and half the area scatters away, but this thing can just maneuver like Andrew Garfield's. No joke. No joke, like feet 4 times as big, and it can just like. No. I disagree. I do not concur. They're going to need something else to convince me. But that is not right. Ah! You dumb bitch. Ah, that scared me. Who's my photos being like, remember this? What do you mean I need a reminder that loud, buddy? Come on, notifications. Get out of there. Not the Tupperware. I need to put the corn away. I'm not using all of it. It just didn't want to be up there. It's because I tried to fit too many lids in a single situation. I should learn my lesson, but I just can't help it. I like trying to put too many things in one spot. That's fucking hilarious. Snapchat's like, remember when you used to be a drunk dumbass? You're like, yeah, try to forget that shit. In case you ever get famous. Why? Because they want to like like they want to sell the picture or what? What's the point? Okay. First we need to get some soup in here. Remember when you lost a beer pong stripped naked and went flying down the street? Jesus. That's fucking hilarious. Woo. That's spicy. Because blackmail, it's basically blackmail with extra love. Yeah. They're like, you got famous and we need money, so we're just going to sell this now, okay? You just gotta get ahead of it. Like, when you become famous, just be like, everyone should be prepared for when this picture comes out. What would you become famous for? They would have given the money in the 30-second video. I don't know, I'd probably get famous for something stupid, like fighting the demonic crackhead outside of Target. Hey, crackheads aren't demonic. They're just fucked up is all. You know? They need love too. I'm sure their family stopped talking to them. I'm just making a mess over here. Okay. Let's get this stuff out of here. Not all crackheads, but there's a few. Not all crackheads. Oh, this thing gets me now. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to say, right? Like, I feel like there is a point of, like, no return once you've gotten so far into drugs and, like, how much you use and stuff, where you kind of gone. Because I've talked to crackheads, druggies, whatever you want to call them, where, like, they're still there, there's still a person in there, they're just struggling, they're like, I feel like there's nowhere else for me to be and no one else wants me. And those people make me feel really sad for the world. But then there's just straight up people where, like, they're just talking to you and they're like, hey, did you see that? You're like, what? And they're like, over there, they're watching us. All of them watching. Like, this one time, I don't know what the fuck this person was on. But they came into the bar one night and they were like, this is just a TV show. And I was like, what? And they were like, yeah, they're making a TV show of my life. Every TV show is just my life. And I'm just like, oh yeah? And he was just going off about how, like, the government was watching him and I was just a paid actor and nobody was real. And I was like, bro, I think you gone. You gone. Like, I'm so sorry that you're that far gone. But I can't talk to you because, like, there is no sense here. Like, you're literally telling me I don't fucking exist as a person. And that, like, I'm not real. Like, okay. And he was like, you're gonna see this on TV. I'm like, how does that make sense? Like, I'm not a real person, but I'm gonna see this on TV. Like, whatever, buddy. You do you. You clearly are enjoying it. I think he's just, like, somebody who, like, really into themselves. Me and my dude used to sit outside of the store. Sit at the store for so long talking about nothing. Lost in the sauce. Yeah, too lost. Would have told him Michael Scott is across the street in a 2008 Nissan Sentric watching us. Watching you, watching me. Isn't that a song? Yeah. I've never been down that far. I've hit, like, the on acid, like, moments where I'm like, oh my god, I'm God and we are all one and, like, you are God and you're just living a life that, like, I would live if I was you and, you know, like, that kind of stuff. But I wasn't, like, at the point where I was like, people are watching me, everyone's watching me. Like, nah. I quit before that shit hit. Okay, let me take this to the room. Oh, wait, we're missing some stuff here. We need some bread. The nose candy had me a bit too euphoric at times, but never psycho. Yeah, definitely, like I could do anything. I was like, I have all the energy for life, but never to the point where I was just like, do you even know? I got this. No. I've seen people like that, though. That was scary. Like, you good? You good? They're like, yeah, I'm great. I'm doing great. How you doing? I'm like, okay. I'm good. I think I'm doing better than you, though. My cat's so fucking hilarious. She's just in there. Oh my gosh. Okay, we need plates. Actually, I'm gonna grab these ones from down here. Instead of making more to watch. wash, I'll just rewash. Somehow that's better. Same, I just sit in the corner chilling and plotting my escape. Yeah. You're just like, I don't want to make a scene, but also I need to get the fuck out of here. The most I've ever been hyped up on that stuff is like dancing. Like when the music hits and I'm just like, and then I realize like 3 hours later that I've been like non-stop dancing and like my hips are hurting and my knees are hurting and I'm like, ooh, I shouldn't have gone so hard. That's about it for me. Though I don't know, there's this one trip I did on acid and I also took Molly. And I literally thought I became like this solar planet in outer space that was like controlling the universe. And then like I believed that there was multiple, like everyone in the room had been like a solar planet god that was in control of the universe. And it like rotated and sometimes you were in the spot of like mass control and sometimes you weren't. And it was like my turn to be in control. And I was like, oh my gosh, what's happening? And then like I like blacked out like from it. Like I was so high that like everything was like dark and stuff like in there. And I kind of remember doing this, but I thought I did it in my head and not out loud. And apparently I just stood up and I screamed at the top of my lungs like, I am God! I am God! Like just oh, like, ooh, goddamn. And then like I came down from that and I was just like laying there and I was just thinking I could speak to people with my brain and that like I was psychically talking to them and like they'd look at me and I'd be like, and they'd be like, and I thought we were like having a conversation, but really like later when they talked to me they were like, yeah, you were just looking at everyone going and we were just like nodding back like awkwardly. And I was like, I thought we were having a conversation like through like our brains. It was bad. But that's been the height of my. I think it was like after that I was like, I gotta calm down a bit on this shit. Like I'm thinking I'm having like conversations with people that are not happening. There's the first few times though that I did acid, I just did acid. And every single time that like I did it, it was one of those things where like I felt like I could hear voices talking to me, and it was weird because like I would be having a conversation with everyone else, and then the voice would like use their voice, like what they were saying, and would interrupt like the sentence to make the sentence a different sentence. And I was getting really confused, and somehow I could keep up with the conversations, and I was having like this whole other conversation mentally with like this thing that kept interrupting my friends and making another conversation. And for the longest time I was like, I think it's a demon, like I think this demon's talking to me. But then I like kind of went like through it like emotionally. I realized I was just talking to myself. I was just talking to my inner voice, and it was just like telling me what it thought like everyone else was actually trying to say. And I was just like, alright, that's a thing I did. Okay. It would tell me to do, like, I told myself to do some weird shit too. I was just like, I don't know, I don't even remember it. I just remember feeling like, I was like, that's a dumb thing to do. I'm like, why would I do that? Like, who does that? Not me. I was not gonna. I was trying to tell myself to do it though. Maybe it really was a demon. Dun dun dun. I haven't done acid in a long time though. It's probably good. That shit was probably fucking with my brain a bit. I don't have anything against doing like hallucinogens and stuff like that. I just think it needs to be something that you do like super rare. Like you should do it half the time of the amount that you take vacation. So if you take a vacation once a year, you should only do it like every other year. If you take a vacation every 2 years, you should only be doing it every 4. Like that kind of shit. I just think it's like, it's a fun thing. It can really get you spiritually. You can kind of like perceive things outside of your normal whatever, but I really think it's important to like take plenty of space in between it so you can fully process what you went through. Ooh, food's almost ready. I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready. I think we only got 2 hours of streaming in today. I could have streamed walking back, but I put my headphones in and I just jammed out. I tried to walk back faster this time, but it did not work out. It took the same amount of time. That's okay. I gotta figure out how I'm gonna put in 2 more hours worth of time today. I'm gonna see if the computer works. Maybe we can still do some. I don't know, my brain's sleepy though. I'll save all the homework for tomorrow. Shit. Yeah. Toasty bread. Toasty bread. Toasty bread. Burning my fingers on toasty bread. Okay. Okay. I missed you too. I missed you too. Oh, how cute. Oh, how cute. Yeah. I missed you too. I wasn't gone for very long. I wasn't. I wasn't gone for very long. Oh. Oh, sweet baby. What did you do, Nene? Let's go find out what happened. I see that. What happened? Were you trying to climb on something that wasn't meant to find out? I went out there, she was like, oh. Like, wasn't me. I didn't do it. Who, me? No. I'm a good kitty. Oh, shit, you want a Coke?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. I want a Coke too, so. Oh yeah, look. Here you go. I need to get back into walking again. My hips are getting weak as fuck. They're sore right now.
Just from walking?
Yeah.
These hips are made for walking.
And that's just what they'll do.
Because all their wives were going to age faster.
Yeah.
It's not nice.
It's not nice. And it makes me real sad.
Okay.
It makes you sad too? Wow. I'm so glad it's not just me. Yeah? Yeah? Yeah, you roll on Daddy's bread. Yeah. Can I hold you? Or are you gonna plop down here? Okay. Okay. Can I take kisses? Come here. Come here. Oh yeah, let's finish this one. Pretty good.
I don't know why it's not remembering.
Like a little over half, I think. this.
What's the last thing you remember?
Perfectly balanced.
They were talking.
The toughest part of Popeye's $5 days menu is choosing
Okay,
which thing.
so I remember the juice thing.
Yeah.
And there was like that.
More
Think
weight.
about what in a year's time, if what you do is great, how does that look
Oh,
specifically?
I remember when he didn't answer the question.
Oh yeah, I think that's.
Okay.
where-
So I'll give you an example. You might think you'd like to lose weight, but that isn't specific enough. I want to know what difference would that make to you. So we'll do it now. So if you said you wanted to be in shape.
Yeah.
What I don't know. What do you mean by that? If you want to lose weight, what do you tell me more?
What are you doing, Bubby?
I want to be able to.
Yeah, I want to rock climb.
What I'm really, I
And
think,
skate, like
scared
rollerblades.
of
Well, I guess we have
Yeah.
rock,
is
rock
I'm
climbing last
scared
year.
of.
I know we never got to it, huh?
Yeah. No, but I was saying that because I won't be able to anymore.
Having the same
Oh,
health
yeah.
profile as my dad.
Ah, right. yes.
Because I've seen we have the same, we have a lot of the same genetic profile.
Unless it's
So
Right.
I
Well,
think a
let's
lot
hope
of
it
us look at our
heals.
parents and go, is that my future?
Yes. Yeah.
And to make it even more specific, I remember walking down some stairs. I've said this once before, but I remember walking down some stairs in Bali, long, steep set of stairs, down to go water rafting with my fiance. And I remember as I walked down those stairs, recalling that my dad can't walk up a single flight of stairs without problems. And I remember thinking, oh, my dad wouldn't have been able to come whitewater rafting because we've got to walk back up these stairs.
Yeah.
And so my dad would have lost out on one of the great joys of life, which is doing enjoyable things with friends and people you love, because his health is now, in that regard, is gone. So I've always thought of that. And then generally, like I remember when I was younger, my dad used to play like football with us and,
Yes,
and
yes.
all these things, and he's unable to do that now. And so and because I've done this podcast on these health experts, I've realised that the decisions I make at 30, which is where I am now, exist on this really interesting, quite predictable curve of inevitable decline, however, not like inevitable loss of lifestyle. What I mean by that is I just have this picture in my head of all these graphs I've seen, where like your peak is around maybe 2030, and then you're going down, which we all accept. But how far you go down is determined by decisions you make right now. The decisions I make now will end me at 70, 80 years old in either the inability to walk or the ability to run. And it's all about what I do now.
Yeah.
Yes. So that, let's just refine that. So I've got your goal
Yeah.
now. So let's park your goal. Now the next thing we've got is in the past,
Yeah, I want
what
to
have
keep
you
walking
done
till
that's
I'm 80.
worked towards those goals? So you probably tell me some stuff you've done that's worked.
If I ever lose my ability to walk, I gotta be real honest. I think that's at the point where I'm gonna start taking a lot of drugs to end my life faster.
Yeah.
Things like going to the gym.
Yeah, anything,
Okay.
anything quickly that you did that worked, that is a first, helped that you did, and you remember that worked. So tell me anything.
So I said to myself one year that I was going to go to the gym every single day. Terrible
Yeah.
idea. Because I got 5 months in and I missed a day, then it was over.
Right.
I said to myself another year, I think it was 2017, that I'm going to get a six-pack for summer. Terrible
Yeah.
idea. Because when summer came, or I got the
But
six-pack,
my question was, what did work in the past, not what
You
did.
know what I'm thinking?
Huh.
You know how you said like if you ever lost your ability to walk, at that point you just,
Yeah.
you know.
What's yours?
I was thinking if I ever lose my ability to have sex, and then
Fair.
I remember if little Joy doesn't work, I have no reason to leave from the show's friends. You
Well,
remember
Joey doesn't work. I have no reason to live.
that?
I do remember.
Yeah. No, but like seriously, and then I thought that's not reasonable because all men eventually stop functioning, right?
Yeah,
so
but
it
it's
will
not.
happen.
It's not really what's reasonable or not. It's kind of like what keeps you going through life, you know? What is what are things, like for me, the ability, and this probably comes from trauma, but the ability to physically go wherever I desire, whenever I desire it, is one of the things that's kept me going in life. That's kept me from ending my life. That's kept me, like, being grateful and kept me...
Going.
Yeah, so if I lost that, I know that working through that would be one of the hardest things.
Yeah.
It'd be so difficult for me to work through that. And I'm almost positive I would resort back to, like, all my habits to numb myself to be able to do so.
Yeah, that's probably how I feel about sex, but I don't know that that is a reasonable expectation for me to have.
But it's not, again, it's not about reasonable. Like, it's not reasonable for me to say, like, oh yeah, if I cannot walk, like, and, because think about the trillions of different things that could happen outside of old age that could end me being able to walk.
Mm-hmm.
I stepped the wrong way, and I fucking bust my knee.
Yeah, you have a car accident, so now you're not
exactly. There's so many things. So it's not a reasonable stance. I just know my mentality
is that if you lost that.
Right. And I accept that about myself, and hopefully me accepting that about myself will help me work through it enough before that happens that I'll be more okay when it does, right? But, like, whether it's reasonable or not is, like, nonsensical, truthfully, because, like, we all have something like that.
Yeah.
There was once at a time where I was like, if I ever quit smoking, like, that's when I'll end my life.
Mm-hmm.
But look at me, I'm not smoking for, like, 3 months now, so I'm perfectly fine.
Yeah. The other thing I was thinking is, like, my ability to work out is extremely important to me, and I hadn't realized that until...
This?
Well, I had an injury in my shoulder some time ago, and that time affected me, perhaps not as much because I was younger, but I was like, is this it? Am I not going to be able to bench press anymore? And at that point there was still, like, a lot of other stuff that I could do, right? But just not certain exercises. But this one is like, it's preventing me to do a lot. Which is why I started, like, working so hard on, like, getting it back if I can. Right?
Just like what happened when you broke your hand.
And I don't know if it will work, but I'm making progress.
Something's happening.
Yeah, something's happening. But then I was thinking, like, I'm only 40, so how is it going to be at 70 or 60? Is it reasonable for me that I'm going to be able to work out at that age? But I see other men who do it.
Exactly. So that's why it's like one of those things you have to recognize, A, that if you did, it would be a huge problem for you, right? And so that allows you to be okay with trying to figure out, because we get stuck, you know, especially with being autistic, like, we get stuck in, like, the things that we know that, like, quote-unquote work for us. But it's one of those things where, like, as we're learning through this stuff, like, we have to accept that, like, our bodies break down at a certain rate, and we have to adjust things accordingly that maybe we thought were working because our bodies could handle it when we were younger. Right? So it's like, now it's time, like, we have to be very conscious about our adjustments and making sure that's going to be for the long haul, and that, like, it's not just because our bodies can handle it, it's that the bodies will be able to handle it for the next 40 years. And that it will be a positive on them. Which is difficult.
I guess also I was thinking, like, it is probably not reasonable for me to expect that I'm going to be just as strong at 70 as I was last year.
Right.
Which was my maximum. But if I can still work out with, like, 25% of the weight, as long as I'm working out and I feel good and I look good, I'll be fine with that.
Right.
But if I can't do it at all,
that's the problem.
It's going to be a problem.
Right. So what has worked for you in the past?
So those two incidents helped me change my idea, and the idea that I came up with was I set not a achievable thing as a goal, but consistency as the goal. My consistency became, for the last 4 years, this idea that the goal, my fitness goal is consistency.
I'm sorry, I have to pause again, but that's so funny. He's 30, and that's exactly the same thought process that I'm having to work through the last couple of years, is like, not how hard you do everything, but how consistent you can be with everything, right? Which is one reason why I couldn't do, like, the first few years that I was trying to do Duolingo. Like, I'd do it real hard for, like, 2 or 3 months, and then I'd miss one day and then it's all gone for the rest of the year. I don't get back to it because I'm like, I fucked up, I failed, right? But this year, it's been the first year where now after this month, I will have done more months than the last 4 years.
See, consistency is more important over the long term for your success than it is quantity.
That's so true.
I get a shot at it, and if I fuck up today, then I've got another shot tomorrow.
Right, leave it there, that's good. So we did the goal, and then we did the next thing. The next thing is resources.
Okay.
So it's what do you bring to the consultation that you've done in the past? Intelligence, resources, friends that will help.
Yeah.
You come already with expertise in yourself. So it's not, I'm not the expert to tell you what to do. You've already got some stuff.
Yeah.
Now we go to the next thing. So if we had your goal at the beginning, which was the fitness and the so and so, today, what might be a small step towards your goal, a realistic small step towards the goals we've already established?
One bag, infinite possibilities. Kate Spade.
So a fanny pack that can also be a purse, so just a fanny pack? I don't understand.
So I can give it to
How
you.
funny is
One
that
of them
the fact that shit, like the Zots thing was on there, but he literally had like a thing where he was talking to, like, we watched one where he was like, that stuff is just as bad as tobacco. Remember that?
creating a social pact, which again was one of the things that helped. So we made a WhatsApp group. This is quite funny. We made a WhatsApp group, we put 10 friends in it, and we made a simple rule. Whoever's the least consistent every month is evicted, and we invited a new friend in. We've done that for 4 years. I've not been evicted in 4 years, which means that I'm doing enough, I'm consistent enough over those 4 years to not be evicted. Every day when we work out, it puts our workouts into the group chat, and every week and every month there's a winner, and there's this league table, and you get these little emoji medals, and there's actually, I won 1 year, so I've got this physical massive gold belt on my bookshelf at home. It says Fitness Blockchain World Champion. So I've done that for 4 years. So a social pack really helped me, the sort of accountability to others. And the other honestly was just, as I said a second ago, when I set the goal of going to the gym every single day, I set myself up for failure. Now, I set myself the goal of consistency, which means that I can have bad days where I do 20 minutes or 15 minutes. Yesterday, because I was finished Dragon's Den late, drove down to London, got home at 1 a.m, I did 18 minutes. And reducing the size of success really helped me to keep my feeling of momentum.
Yeah.
Brilliant. We're nearly at the end of your degree in psychology.
Okay.
And I'm going to pull it together. The final thing is, when things, what would you notice for you when things are going well? What would you notice? So you've done some of these things. What is it you actually notice?
As in the benefit to me?
Yes,
or,
what do you notice? So if tomorrow is a really good day, what might you notice at the end of it? Because you've much experience in this now. What would you notice?
I mean, the first thing that comes to mind is just how I feel.
Yes.
I just feel...
Do you mean emotionally or energetically?
All of it.
Great.
All of it. Emotionally, I feel good about myself.
Yeah.
Energetically, I feel more energetic. And there is this element of identity in there where I have an opinion of myself and who I think I am, and I think I'm a healthy person, and I think I'm someone that's in control. And when I'm not performing the consistent behaviours that I want to, I think I start to question that identity in a way that causes a lot of discomfort. And say, well, you're not in control of your own life. Like, how that's crazy.
So I think it links into self-esteem.
Yeah.
Really. So what we just did, we had the goals, G.
Yeah.
Then we had your resources, R.
Yeah.
Then we had increments. What things had you done, little things on the way? And then finally I invited you to notice and reflect, and that spells grin. And that's Jen's published grin model. I just did it for you right there. And I could do it faster than that. I do it in nearly every surgery I do. Because what I'm trying to do is find out about you.
Mm-hmm.
And you didn't find out much about me in that process, did you?
No.
But I found out a lot of really useful stuff to you, and it's motivational. And much better to do that than me tell you what to do. And I'm not a talking leaflet, but motivation, this is what Jen has taught me, is key in everything we do. And the grin model isn't bad. Clever woman.
So what do we do with the grin model? And so this is really helping me figure out how to change my behaviour? Like,
Yes.
How does one apply it? Or are you saying that everyone listening now should answer those 4 questions
Yes,
themselves?
I do. Because otherwise, it's possible to spend a lot of time blaming yourself. You know, and particularly around if we're discussing weight problems and so on.
Of course.
Your messages.
What? Oh, the ones I sent from when I was heading back.
Mm-hmm.
You can spend a lot of time saying, I'm to blame, or I wish, or I shouldn't have. That, you know, after Christmas everybody feels like this. But what is much better, rather than focusing, you're wasting energy if you start thinking about guilt and negative stuff. And what Jen's trying to do is getting you to engage by in thinking about a better future. And what the whole of that 5 minutes was, engaging you in first of all the goal of a better future, then some resources towards your better future, then the first steps towards the better future, and then noticing what's good.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think in medicine what we've done, how do you get a doctor's attention? You get a doctor's attention by saying, oh, it's so bad, it's so bad, my pain is so bad.
Yeah.
And I realised I had trained my patients to think that moaning was how, you know, they got my attention. And if you do that, the result is a very miserable 2-hour surgery. But if you can talk, even people having a terrible time have got hope if you can find it. They have goals if you can discuss them. And you can have somebody with a drug addiction, or, you know, I see people, dying people, also every clinic I'm seeing sad stuff. But if you can also investigate hopes and good stuff, as a doctor I'm so much more energetic, so much more hopeful. I'm having a great time. And I wasn't when I was 55. And that's the process.
I bet there's so many people listening now that maybe they, you know, because they listen to this show and they've got the sort of basics, they go, do you know what? I understand this stuff and I'm making good progress, but I live with or love someone
Yes.
who I'm scared they're going down a slippery slope.
Yes.
And I don't know what to do. Do I intervene? Do I hide their sweets? Do I blame? What do I do?
That's so hard, isn't it? That's so hard. I think you can.
Weren't you in that position to some degree?
Yes. Yeah. So my first wife had a very severe addiction problem. So I lived with that for 12 years, and she's unfortunately died now. So I lived with very, very serious addiction for 12 years. And what you're doing then is you're living with uncertainty, serious uncertainty. You cannot say what you'll come home to. You have no idea. No idea. It brings chaos into your life. Very, very hard.
Addiction?
Yes.
Are you able to say what kind of it? Was it a food addiction or a drug addiction? Or?
It was nearly everybody concerned has died now, so I don't know whether I can say or not, but it was very serious, multiple addictions, I will say that. And she died some years ago. And it actually wasn't food addiction, but it brings, I have so much sympathy with dealing, how hard it is to deal with uncertainty and not be able to, you love somebody and you can't do anything. It's very hard. There are things you can do. I think if you can engage people in that, talking about goals, that can help. What we will do now is we'll change that conversation to the current Mrs. Unwin, which is what we laughingly...
You know what's interesting is he says, if you can, talk about goals. And I would have to say, like, people that I know that I felt like, not that they had addictions, but like they had no desire in life to do anything but watch TV and like go to work and come home and watch TV.
Mm-hmm.
Even just talking about goals can really piss them off.
Mm.
So he's right when like it's more complicated than like if you want to help them, like there's almost nothing you can really do. They have to choose to want that help.
No, I'm going to make this the exact same point with all of this works, but yeah, you cannot change. You cannot fix someone else. You can only point them in the right direction so that they fix themselves, because the motivation for anything has to come from within.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can give someone all the tools to work out, for example.
Right.
Like all the knowledge that I need on nutrition and working out. But if they don't have the motivation to go to the gym and to like stay on good nutrition,
Right.
like, it won't work.
So true.
Say this is Jen. So we've been together for 30 years now. And Jen's story is that she actually is an ultra-processed food addict, genuinely. And what that means is, neither of us understood what that was. Even though she's a consultant psychologist, she didn't realise that she was an ultra-processed food addict. What she saw it as was a weight problem, and all her life she's been boomerang dieting, so she'd be a big woman and then a little woman and a big woman, and I used to watch it all. What's going on? And then there'd be tray bakes, like she's trying to lose weight and making tray bakes, saying it's for the children, and then scoffing a lot herself. So then because I loved her, and I think blokes, we try and solve problems, don't we? Mm-hmm. We're like caveman. I wanted to rescue her, so I'm either throwing the food away, or I'm tackling her, and then we're having such arguments because she's defensive and cross. Mm-hmm. I couldn't understand with an intelligent woman what's going on. But then, this is only a few years ago, she understood for the first time. This is addiction. When you have intelligent people, highly, highly intelligent people, doing stuff that harms their health repeatedly, is this not like cigarettes? Is it not like alcohol? That is ultra-processed food addiction. And there's a patient I'd like to tell you about that explains it even more clearly, and this patient has consented for me to tell you because he wants to help the world. So this is a guy who's a very successful guy. He runs, he's a wealthy person with a successful business. He's not stupid. He has type 2 diabetes. He's 55, he has type 2 diabetes. He's very much overweight. Unfortunately, he needs really serious surgery because both his knees have been so destroyed by his weight that he can hardly walk because he's in real agony. But his type 2 diabetes is so bad, his blood sugar control is so bad, the anaesthetists won't touch him. So he's trapped. He can't get the op because his blood sugar is high. He can't run his business easily because he can't hardly walk.
Damn.
So, obviously, what we do is we say you need to go low carb. And it works for a bit, and he loses some weight, but then he gains the weight again. And this goes on for 4 years while I see him so regularly, every month. What's going on? What's going on? Oh, excuses, the grandchildren. I've got a holiday, Christmas, it goes on. Anyway, then his wife came to see me and she said, Dr. Min, I need to level with you. You need to understand what's going on. I find that my husband is getting up at 4 in the morning and eating bread out of the fridge. So, what I do now, what I started doing was, at the end of every day, I put all the bread in the bin if it hasn't been eaten that day. But then I discovered my husband was going in the bin to eat the bread.
No.
Then what she does, she's a very formidable woman. She started putting detergent, liquid detergent, on any bread that goes in the bin.
Oh no.
But he still eats it. He's getting up at 4 in the morning, rummaging through the bin to eat the bread with the detergent on. So then she tries something else, and she says, this is the only thing that will stop my husband from eating bread if it's there. I spray bleach on the bread and leave the can of bleach by the bin so he knows don't even look.
OMG, y'all. Travelers swear by this one.
Or they could just stop buying the
She's
bread.
scrolling travel advice for hours.
I
That's just
don't think that will work.
influencer brain.
I wonder what this lucky friend said me.
The problem with addictions and behaviors like that is often the solution is not to stop the behavior completely, because that's too harsh on your psychology. You're setting yourself for failure, basically.
What I've described to you.
If you do that, just trying to, it's like the same thing that you were talking about, where you would do Duolingo for like, I don't know, 12 hours a day, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then fall out of the habit, right? Because you were doing too much.
Right.
Stopping a bad habit, like cold turkey, is just as bad for your psychology, because it's too hard on you. So instead, what you do is slowly replace bad behaviors with better behaviors, and you keep improving and iterating on those better behaviors until a point where it is manageable and you can be consistent. Because if you, like, no matter what you're doing, if you cannot be consistent with a habit, it won't work. Like, consistency is everything. So and that's why, for example, for me, it's important, for example, to have the ice cream or the peanut butter cups, because when I have those, right, I'll have like 1 or 2 or 3 a day, right, which is not terrible for my health. If I run out of those, I will search the fridge. I will make myself like 6 sandwiches with peanut butter, and I can't stop myself from doing that. Right, so I understand the behavior of the guy who's like opening the fridge, and so what's better, to eat like 2 peanut butter cups of like 6 sandwiches of peanut butter, right? So the answer for him would be to find lower calorie bread, smaller portions of bread, maybe something completely not related to bread that he still enjoys. But the problem is, if like his wife is being so restricted to the point where she's spraying bleach on the bread, that's not support. And so he will get to the point where, instead of like going to the bin, he is going to get out of the house to find something to eat without her knowing. And like, so it's better that they figure out a better way to support him into doing something that's manageable for him specifically.
You think that's what he's going to say?
No, I don't know what he's going to say, but I think that's the best solution.
Is addiction. This is an intelligent person, and imagine his self-esteem, how it was to live like that, concealing what he was doing and not telling his doctor, because I'm trying so hard for him for years, and he's so sweet to me now, and he often shakes my hand and gives me hope. He said, you tried, you really tried. Anyway, my stories have a happy ending always. What I did for him in the end, he needed everything, so low carb. Then I got him using a continuous glucose monitor, so that he would get feedback immediately and see that spike. And also, I could see the spikes as well, because he had to come and show me his tracings. And on top of that, I did something unusual. I gave him a low dose of the new GLP-1 drugs.
Ozempic.
One of those.
Yeah.
And the 3 together, he managed to not He couldn't moderate, but he could abstain, and then he could do it. The Ozempic helped reduce the noise, the cravings in his head. The feedback from the CGM helped him know how he was doing, and
So
the
logically,
support he
better
got from
decisions.
me and the low carb pulled together, and all three, and he's had his operation now.
Not only
So it's a happy
because it
story,
sounds like
but
he
he's
needed
got
a-
maintenance.
So that's very interesting because that's actually contradicting what I said.
Mm-hmm.
What I said is like find something that works for you moderately. He's just saying that for this person, moderation didn't work.
Right.
Like he was an all or nothing kind of person. Like, there was no in the middle, right?
Mm-hmm.
Until the drug that allowed him to abstain completely, and then he was able to abstain completely and succeed.
Mm-hmm.
That's very, I would say that most people are not like that. For most people, moderation is a better solution,
Mm-hmm.
but for him, apparently that was the best solution, right? Like, or the only solution that actually worked, where like with the drug
Right.
and all this different combination of things, like he was able to abstain completely. Interesting, right? Because that's not what I would have suggested.
Right.
All his life he's going to have to sort that out. And it's a wonderful example because I think we trivialize this. We call it carb creep, like it doesn't matter. But there are many people listening to us right now, and they know they're addicted to various foods. They know, because when you ask them, they often burst into tears. Often somebody will say, I've never told anybody in my entire life about, and bread is a common one. And if you're not addicted to bread, you can't imagine it. But if you are addicted to bread, they say, this sounds so stupid. I'm so embarrassed to tell you I can't control how I eat bread. And so it's not great for your self-esteem, is it?
No.
But people might be addicted to many things, and my wife's published many papers on this and written a book and this, that and the other. She would say about 14% of the population has some aspects of ultra-processed food addiction.
Wow.
And it kind of explains so much. Why are intelligent people eating foods they know do them harm? I've got another example. One of my patients with type 2 diabetes, we got drug-free remission. Hooray! I've done that now 157 times. So every one of them I'm cheering when it happens. So this guy, we did it, drug-free remission. Then he vanished for a while and came back with 2 dead toes. And he had to have them amputated.
No.
What toes? Yeah, they started rotting because diabetes takes the blood supply, particularly from your toes. So he had to have surgery to have part of his foot removed. And so you call it carb creep, and he ended up with half his foot taken off. That's not carb creep, something far more sinister. But I never give up. And unfortunately, the wounds took a long time to heal because he was sugary, so we do it all over again. I got him back into remission because this time he and his wife are really determined. But it's a struggle, and he needs help and support to achieve that. He's not a foolish man. He's an intelligent man, and yet various foods call to him. Eat me, and it's very difficult for him to not. And that, I mean, that's a very extreme example, but many people with overweight, and some who are not overweight, are struggling with very, very significant carb cravings, and they really, really struggle to control them.
There should be a button just down below here, and if it says subscribe,
You know, that's something where, even though, like I said, like keto has some severe disadvantages, if you are one of those people who have a severe addiction to processed foods, or to the carbohydrates, or to sugars, one of the best things you can do to detox is go on a keto diet temporarily, 3 months, 6 months, because something really funny happens to your body when you start, where you realize sugar is like a stimulant drug.
It is, yeah.
You go through
Withdrawals.
withdrawals when you retire sugar, and
Yeah.
you suffer But eventually, like after months of doing it, it's gone. Your cravings for sugar are gone. You might think about it like you think of cocaine, for example, right? Where like you miss it, and you know that if it is put you in front of you in the wrong situation, you might fall for it, right? But you can abstain logically, where you had not ever been able to succeed at that, right? So it's for people who have like that as an addiction, it's a good thing to try. I think the only addictive behaviors that I have like that I struggle really with is like the coke, and not so much because I have been able to quit it. I just got back into it in the past. But something I've never been able to stop is chocolate, but also I don't want to. Right? And that one is like an addiction, but also chocolate has like so many benefits.
Yeah, dark chocolate.
Dark chocolate, which is what I mostly.
Do the peanut butter cups have dark chocolate?
Yeah, they are dark chocolate peanut butter cups. Also, the ice cream is dark chocolate.
Well, it's not technically ice cream.
Yeah, it's not really ice cream. But the chocolate that they cover the ice cream with is dark chocolate. And perhaps my libido is the other thing that I really struggle with. But other than that, I don't think, like food, for example, is something that I don't consider as strong as an addiction. Like, yeah, I get hungry like everyone, right? But when I committed to myself, for example, for like 2 years to be super lean, I was able to do it. Right? To a degree that most people will never be able to.
Yeah, I know. I would be somebody who just wakes up to have a shot of olive oil.
Which like 16 weights. Yeah. Yeah, that was insane.
Yeah, it was.
But yeah, and at that point, like right now, I don't want to quit the bread, for example, and stuff like that, because I know that it is not unhealthy.
Right.
It's still calorie heavy, and ideally, maybe for example, if you wanted, we should reduce it to where like we only do one every time we have the soup instead of the pieces.
Okay. I can do that if you want.
Yeah, we could work on that slowly. Maybe we can do 3 pieces and have 1.5 at the beginning, and then reduce it for it to 1 and 1.
Okay.
If we want to. But food is not something I necessarily feel like I struggle with. If I was, I probably wouldn't tolerate having the soup so much.
You're already subscribed. If it says subscribe,
But I will say this, like for any diet for you to succeed on any diet, it has to be something that you enjoy. If it's something that you hate, like if you try to give me lettuce every day, I will fail miserably.
Right.
Like lettuce and chicken every day.
Right.
And that was all I ate. I will fail miserably. Right? So what's the point on creating something that's so extreme for yourself that you know you're setting yourself for failure?
Right. Which is why I just add like lettuce to random things that we already eat, like the hamburgers, like sandwiches.
Right.
And even sometimes I don't put it on there right away, right? Like I put it on the side and I'm like, if you want this, it's
Right.
here. So that way it's like your choice and I'm not just like, eat this fucking lettuce.
Yeah.
I've been there. What is step 1 today? So they're listening to you, they go, fucking hell, I don't want to lose my toes and all of these problems. What is step 1 now?
Now, are we talking about for somebody with type 2 diabetes or somebody who can't control what they're eating?
Someone that can't control what they're eating.
Great, right. So, step one, we just did it. I think step one is acknowledging that is your problem. Because if you're not honest about your problem, how are you ever going to sort it out?
Yeah.
Honesty.
So the first thing is honesty, and that's very hard for people. All of us have made excuses. You know, me and my biscuits. I believed that it was easier for me to think that that was stress and a reasonable reaction to the stress of running a practice than it was to say, I've got, biscuits for me, it took me a year to give them up. A year.
Mm-hmm.
How pathetic is that?
That's not pathetic.
I was so driven that it took me a whole year.
How did you give them up?
I did it by weaning myself off a bit like methadone. So I went from, I like chocolate ginger biscuits, and then I went to digestive plain, and then I went to oat biscuits, and then eventually I went to almonds.
Why didn't you just do it all at once?
I should have done. And Jen's a great believer in cold turkey, like what is the thing, stop it. I wasn't man enough for that, and it took me a whole year. So the first thing is
So
be
even he's
honest.
recognizing, like, some people,
Moderation
it's a
is
cold turkey thing. Like, you're either all in it or
But
all
I think,
nothing.
I think he will have failed the other way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he would
So
have.
he probably succeeded only because he didn't on stage.
And you want to know what? I feel like I'm an in-between person. I feel like there's some things, like when I feel like it's severe enough, like with cocaine,
Where you can do
I
cold
just cold turkey that shit. And I know it's going to be rough, and I know I'm going to, like, desire it, but I know I can put myself in places where, like, I won't have access to it, right? It would be so difficult for me, and I'd have to put myself in such dangerous situations that I'd be unwilling to put myself in those situations to get access to it, right?
Yeah.
Whereas, like, with the weed, that was much harder because it's, like, socially acceptable, right? And so my brain, like, tricks me into thinking, like, oh, just a little bit now. Oh, just get, a pack, and you'll smoke one every weekend, and then I end up smoking one every day.
Right.
And then smoking two every day. And then smoking all day. And then I'm like, right? So... it's like one of those things, like with the weed, like how we did it, where, like, first for an entire year I stopped smoking the flower and just smoked the and we limited it to, like, one cartridge a month, and then I started trying to make those last a little bit longer and a little bit longer, and then I was able to say, okay, this is it, I'm done.
You know what's funny when I think about you? You did the impossible. Like, the kind of things that you have been able to quit, like cocaine and other drugs and alcohol and weed, are things that most people who have those kind of addictions can never quit. Like they are. I don't think I will have the strength to quit some of those if I ever try them, right? So your problem is not, I don't know, strength of character for, like, stopping cold turkey. Right? I'm pretty sure at this point, like, there is no substance in this world that you could get addicted to that you can stop by the mental strength of yourself, right? But what's interesting about that is when it comes to you, for example, sticking to good habits, that's where you struggle. Like working out, like working every day, learning something every day, studying every day, being consistent. That's where you struggle. And that's where your mental fortitude doesn't translate very well. And that's quite interesting, right? Because, like, it's not that different.
I have no idea, though. I don't know why.
Truth. Be honest with yourself, even if you can't tell other people. Be honest with yourself. Is there an addictive potential there? Could that be? Does that fit? Number two, specifically, which foods is your problem? And be honest. Because if you If you're not honest, then number 3 is have a plan for abstinence. Because if you have got an addictive potential, it won't be one biscuit. And we all, how many of us have said, I'm going to give up ice cream or biscuits or pizza or whatever it is.
And then you have a shit day.
You did, or you have a drink or whatever, you think tomorrow.
Work stresses you out.
Yeah, tomorrow. So it's very important to be specific about the food and then to have a plan for how you are going to do it. And another thing is sometimes it's helpful, the people around you that love you, maybe share with them that it's important and that I might need some help. Please be tolerant with me, like cigarettes. Please be tolerant if I'm short-tempered. I'm going to try and do this thing because it's important. The difficulty, it depends whether the person that loves you can be gentle or if they're heavy-handed. If you confess this and then they police you,
judgmental.
Yeah, it doesn't help.
Yeah.
What you're asking for is gentle support and tolerance.
I can think of a time in my life where I was with somebody,
and
they were so into their health, that it made me start to hide when I was eating bad.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. That's what happens, and you see that people become deceitful.
Yeah.
So if you police somebody you love, the result is deceit.
I was hiding the wrappers of the things I was eating.
Jen did that with me. She would, she knew that I was monitoring, so she starts hiding the wrappers, or then I'd find them in the car. But then we have a situation that we can no longer talk about it.
That's what Janet would do. That's what my mom would do. I told you that before. The weekends he was gone off work, she'd spend... I don't even know where she's getting this money. I'm pretty sure it's the money that my father was giving her for child support. Like on candy and sweets and ice cream and pizza. Going to Dairy Queen. And then all of it, we were never allowed to throw the trash out in our garbage. We had to find a different garbage can somewhere else.
So I thought we could do that.
Because, so that if you're forcing somebody to become deceitful, you have to back off a little bit.
Yeah.
Because that deceit and then affects self-esteem, and that can make them worse. And we didn't want to make them worse.
And then they're lonely because they can't share the bad days.
Yeah, it's really good. I wonder, please could we show Jen's book at this point?
Of course.
So can I just explain the book? So this is Jen's book. And the most important thing is Jen doesn't make a penny out of this book. So it's fork in the road with the idea in your journey, which one are you going to pick? Do you see? So it's fork in the road. She doesn't make any money from this. Every penny goes to a charity that she's set up, helping people with food addiction. It's available on Amazon and self-published on Amazon.
How much does this book cost? It's not a lot, is it?
It's about £15. Oh no, it's less. I think it might be 10. 10 quid.
Okay, I'll tell you what I'll do.
Yeah.
I'll buy 1,000 of them.
Fabulous.
And I'll put a link below in the comment section. And so all you've got to do is, if you've really enjoyed this conversation and you'd like to get Jen's book,
Fork in the road.
A Fork in the Road. Maybe we can even get some of them signed, not all of them, because that
We
would break
could.
your hand. But we could get a couple of them signed.
Oh, that is brilliant.
Click below and we'll send 1,000 of them out. And that's just a thank you from me
Is this new?
to both you and Jen, but also to the
We should see
community
if
who
we
tune
can
into these
get the
conversations.
book, yeah.
It's so great that people can get such simple information that's so accessible and so rigorous in its scientific credentials in a way like this that could change some people's lives.
Great.
Isn't that a wonderful thing? You know, like a simple book like this, which isn't long either. It's only
No, it's not a big read.
could change some people's lives. That's such a wonderful thing.
I love that he's like, I'll just buy 1,000 things.
It's got to be soft.
It's gotta be strong.
Yeah, the guy is
It's
insane.
stop and go. Now, every card is welcome
About
aboard.
college,
Just tap any credit
he
or
was very
debit card
like
you
ready
want.
to
Okay.
join like this company that made millions of dollars
Just making myself.
before she started this channel. And then he started the channel.
And then they flash freeze it with liquid nitrogen to lock in. These are also great if you're in a team.
Ads that he has.
You get these conversation cards right now. You said something up.
Okay. Oh my goodness. Okay, and my device is overheating, so we are going to end the stream and I'll see you guys later.